Hey, y'all, let's take care of some business before we get into the Bucket of Popcorn podcast. This podcast brought to you by Hybrid Total Fitness at 5504 Bandera Road, 618. That's suite number 618. You can find them online at Hybrid Total Fit on Facebook, Twitter, and all that good stuff. Learn it, love it, live it, lift it. Hybrid Total Fitness. Big shout out. Thank you very much. Let's get into the podcast. Welcome to the Bucket of Popcorn podcast, where we're going to talk about...
I did not hit her. I did not.
And... Ricky! There'll also be some...
What's with kids today, huh? No respect.
And most definitely a lot of... So it's either Josh and Deb, Josh, someone else, Deb and someone else, Josh, Deb, and someone else, or someone else altogether. Welcome to the Bucket of Popcorn podcast. Hey, welcome back to the second episode of the Bucket of Popcorn podcast. I'm Josh.
And I'm Deb.
And today we're going to be talking about the movie Jeepers Creepers 3. Yes. Now, I know for a movie review podcast, it's standard format to give out the director and all the back history and all that. We're not going to get into that on this one. We're just going to talk about the movie, right?
Okay.
And it came out on Sci-Fi.
Yes.
And we missed it. And they had it where you could buy it like on
Amazon.
On Amazon Prime, and we missed it. And now it's on Netflix. So it's another Netflix movie that we're talking about.
Netflix is my friend.
So, without like the last review that we did, we're not going to go into spoilers yet. Well, that'll be the second half of this podcast. But some back history on Deb and I. Well, from myself, the series of Jeepers Creepers, I love it. I love the first one. I love the second one, and now we have the third one. How do you feel about the first two, Deb?
I love the first one. The second one, I didn't love as much.
What?
I didn't. I mean, I liked it a lot, but I didn't love the movie like the first one.
Wow. But I don't want to spend... I know you're supposed to have X amount of minutes whenever you do a podcast and all that, but I really don't want to spend that much time on Jeepers Creepers 3 because, to be honest with you, I was let down.
I enjoyed it.
For real?
For real, I enjoyed it.
We haven't talked about our feelings about the movie.
No, we haven't. And you seem like you were bored of it. Like,
I mean, it just...
The movie was very predictable.
Well, that's not what made me not want to watch the movie. It just it didn't seem like
Creepers-ish.
I mean, it's a monster movie and all that, but it just didn't. I can't get into it without spoiling it. So I'm say what you want to say. Go ahead. I know you have lists and all that.
No. Well, I just liked the movie. There was a lot of things that I don't even know how to explain it.
Okay, let's be fair about it. Graphics wise, it looked great.
Yes, it did.
Filming wise, it was all right. Locations kind of fit. Not getting into too many spoilers, it was weird because a lot of it was in daylight.
Yes.
So you could see everything, including the creeper's red T-shirt that he got at Goodwill. It just looked like somebody's uncle or me threw on a Jeepers Creepers mask and a trench coat.
I can see that.
I don't know if that's exactly what he was wearing in part 1 and part 2, but it just wasn't as obvious that it was a T-shirt and some gloves.
Yeah.
And an Undertaker hat and jacket.
This one is kind of hard to follow because...
No spoilers.
I know, but it was hard to follow. I understand why you didn't like it, but I did.
Wow. So let's go straight to our rating.
Okay.
We're going on a scale of 1 to 5 bucket of popcorn. Buckets of popcorn. All right? You go first. Ladies first.
I give it 3 buckets.
3 buckets. That's middle of the range right there. If you're going by
I give it
fifths,
3.
that's a 60%.
I give it 3 buckets because there's so much more they could have done with it. But also what they did do, I still liked. I liked what they did with it, but they could have done so much more.
Okay. I give it 2.5.
Okay.
2.5. So we're really not that far off on our rating. But I didn't appreciate the movie the way that you did, apparently. Okay, so let's go into the Spoilerville. Spoilerland. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. You have been warned. We're not going to talk about parts of the movie, even though it's been out for a while. And it's on Netflix already.
Yeah.
So there's no excuse for why you shouldn't have seen it if it's that important to you.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about it.
Okay, so...
She has a list.
I do. And this is spoilers, right?
Yeah, spoilers.
Okay.
Spoiler.
The beginning of the movie, well, like I said, the movie was very predictable.
Right.
It was very, you could tell what's going to happen. There's where the main girl, she goes to, I think, to her friend's house. And it has the friend is has a douchebag brother. And I'm like, man, that something's going to happen to that kid. Cause it's
in the next scene.
Yeah, it didn't even like take a long while for him to, he ran into the Jeepers Creepers and.
Okay. So going into spoilers. Everybody knows that when you make a franchise, you have to lead into the next one, right? And you know how Saw did it with things running at the same time or things ending up being prequels that you didn't know they were prequels or, twists and turns like that. That's what they tried to do with Jeepers Creepers 3. Jeepers Creepers 3 actually happens between part 1 and part 2.
Yeah. So I think that's where I got lost because I didn't know that.
I need to see part 1 and part 2 again. So I need to go back and see if the sheriff guy, the champ from Harlem Nights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He got somebody get knocked out.
You know what caught me off guard?
What was that?
On 1 and 2, did he ever make any noise?
Well, he did the breathing and just the guttural.
But that's it, right? On this one, he roared.
Yeah, I think he roared too.
I don't remember hearing him do that on 1 and 2.
But I mean, there's a part where you see some pre-story, some flashback to something that you've never seen before, and apparently his hand got cut off.
I don't remember that either.
Somebody buried the hand, and if you touch, all he's doing is eating and looking for evidence of himself. He's trying to hide the evidence. And see, that was something else. The guy and the girl in part 1 didn't know anything about eating you. They thought it was about beating you, right? But in this one, which happens right after part 1, and right going into part 2, the kids know about the Jeepers Creepers man, and the eating you truck, and they're like, "Oh, people always make those every year. It's cosplay and shit."
Yeah, that's what I understand. Maybe they forgot that it was before the first one, and
maybe they forgot when they made the first one. That type of stuff. People weren't people were cosplaying, but it wasn't something that.
Yeah, I don't think it was
prevalent.
It was filmed. I don't know. I couldn't follow it, but I mean, I still liked the movie.
I mean, I liked where it was going because it starts becoming about his truck more than about him.
Yeah,
and I kind of liked that, but then it just got real shady. I mean, if his truck was alive, there's a part where he gets hurt by his own truck.
Yeah,
and he falls into his own trap, which is a very simple trap inside the truck.
And you would have thought that he would have known that it was...
That if the truck was alive, or if he was the one controlling the truck, he wouldn't have stabbed himself in the head with the seat spear.
Yeah.
Oh, the spear was cool. The get over here.
Yeah.
The scorpion spear.
Like the beginning of it, I was like, "Ooh, I really like that. I already liked how it's going." Like
And
the
the
whole
back of the
beginning.
truck opens up and it has like jaws.
Yeah.
Wah, 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 wah,
And you
wah,
can't
wah,
go
wah,
in
wah.
or out. So you can't go in or out the truck because
then it's
it
going to bite
attacks you.
So,
So-
cool.
But yeah, I can see where you didn't like it. But
Oh, and then at the end, the guy that survives, the love interest, super spoiler right here. He's like, all right, I'll see you later. I got to go to this game. And he's putting on his varsity jacket. And the bus from part 2 drives up.
and it's funny because they never say anything about him being.
Now, I got to go back and see part 2 and to see if there's anybody that kind of knew what was going on. Because he knows about the Jeepers Creepers. And they think that it left and it's gone away.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, because they see him, he gets on the bus.
And the
then-
wheels of the
but-
bus go round and round.
Yeah, they do. But then in part 2, like the whole movie is them on the bus.
Yep. But all right, so I gave it a 2.5. You gave it a 3.
I gave it a 3.
We've got another movie coming up soon. I think it's Flatliners.
Yeah.
All right. And then we also have Drop Dead Fred. We can do a review
yeah.
of Drop Dead Fred.
We have Drop Dead Fred.
Yep. All right. So until next time, this is Josh.
And this is Deb.
You're listening to the Bucket of Popcorn podcast. Subscribe to us on, as soon as they approve us, on iTunes. We're on Spreaker, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all that good
Twitter.
stuff. All right. Till next time. Thanks for listening. Have a good evening.
Bye, everybody.